I can do better.
Give me that sunshine, sunshine. Give me them good times, good times. Nothing but good vibes, good vibes. Give me that sunshine, sunshine.
What is up? We are very excited to try something very new. This comes as a request from a viewer, Savage Mermaid. And if a mermaid talks to you, you generally do what they say. And if a savage mermaid says something, you try to kick it up a notch. So this is ramen that we are doing. It has, we are taking it actually through all the stages. We are hand making the noodles, and then we'll be making the broth or the soup, and then we will put it all together. If you don't want to make your own noodles, just buy ramen noodles and do the rest of this recipe. But we tried several different recipes. These are the two that were good, and they are unbelievably simple, unbelievably flavorful. So we're excited to show you how that goes. Let's go. In the mixing bowl right now, 3 ingredients. 3 cups flour, very precise in your measure. 1 teaspoon salt, 1 teaspoon baking soda. That's it for the dry ingredients. Make sure that they are just well mixed in there. 2 wet ingredients. We have half a cup of warm water. It's important that the water is warm. And then 2 eggs that are beaten. We can crack the eggs beautifully. We can scramble them beautifully. But at the end of the day, I also take a spatula with that because this is a dry dough, drier than you might expect if you are used to making your own bread. So the egg, I like to get every last bit of egg yolk I can into that. Now, that's it. This is going to then go on increasing speeds up to about a medium speed with the dough hook on the KitchenAid stand mixer for about 5 minutes. And it's gonna really kind of pulverize it at the end. So if you walk away from your KitchenAid, just know it may vibrate right off the counter. So we're gonna get that going, and then we will come back and actually roll out the sheets of dough and then make them into the ramen noodles. So we'll fire this up and then we'll come back. All right, we hit the 5-minute mark. Your dough will look a little something like this. Now, we floured a surface. You want to roll it out onto a floured surface. Whenever you're working with a dough like this, making pasta, or in this case, ramen noodles, flour is going to be your friend. But you want to get the flour on there to help you work with it so it doesn't stick to your hands. And all I'm trying to do is kind of get a rough rectangle, kind of working it a little bit. And we're going to set this in the fridge. We're going to wrap it in saran wrap, set it in the fridge for about an hour. If you want it to be longer, longer's fine. But into the fridge for an hour, and then we'll be back to do our noodles.
2 hours later.
So I have the babe foodie from behind the camera. She is going to walk us through the noodle making process. Really quickly, a lot of people ask us what we use, the different gadgets and stuff. We'll have them all in the description. Look in the description for the links to Amazon. There is it's under the affiliate link disclaimer. And we will have that for anyone who wants to see what we're using. So with that, we're going to flip the camera and let the babe take us through making the ramen noodles.
Hi everyone. I'm going to take dough here and show you how to roll it out in our pasta roller. This is the KitchenAid attachment that we're going to use. That's supposed to fit for this model. I'm going to cut this dough into smaller sections just to give me something easy to work with. And then we'll roll it out onto this floured surface. I'll kind of squish it at first with my hands, and then we'll run it through the mill. And I'm gonna do a few of these right away just to help kind of speed up the time. All right, so I have my pile of dough that's kind of been just hand squished. I'm gonna set my KitchenAid to the speed of 2, and my attachment is at its fullest opening. This one is a number 8, and I'll start First of all, flouring it,
Lots of flour.
and then
You almost can't
Get
have
it
too
to
much
roll
flour,
in.
can you?
you really can't. It's just gonna drop down to the bottom, and it'll be good. Because the more flour you have, then the less sticky.
And
your
funny
dough is
shapes are
gonna be.
okay too.
Yeah.
There's nothing perfection here. As long as it fits through the roller, I think it will be fine.
Correct. All right, I'm gonna take this one and just do just one roll to show you rather than show you all of these. So when it goes through the roller nice and easy, then I'm going to adjust it a little smaller. Each time it's gonna just roll it a little thinner and it'll get longer. I'm also going to add flour. Try to do that each time, but for sure, if I see it gets sticky, I want to add more flour so that we don't get it clumped up inside the machine.
What we've loved since we've got this KitchenAid attachment is the ability to simply one person simply roll out the dough.
All right, so I took it down to the setting of 3, the number 3. I started at 8. I just took it down to 3. I'm just gonna cut this in half for when I roll it through the spaghetti roller. It'll just be a nice length to handle.
So we switch out the attachment.
Yep.
Nice. We'll film the switch out.
All right. So I'm gonna crank this up to 7. And feed them through. Now at this point, if you want to dry them, I'll shut this off while I talk. This is the point where if you wanted to dry them on a spaghetti rack, you could do so. Just catch them in your hand like I just did. Here's a old-fashioned spaghetti rack. You can,
Spaghetti wrap in the description below.
yes,
You can buy it. You can find it and buy it.
Yes, they are not necessarily vintage or antique.
So if you're going to use these dried though for later, how long do they typically have to dry?
These are gonna dry overnight.
Overnight drying.
The other way I chose to dry them was in my dehydrator, my food dehydrator.
Set very low.
Yeah, set at my lowest setting, and that was really slick.
And that was overnight as well, or just for a couple hours?
It actually was overnight,
Okay, so both are overnight.
just because that was more convenient. But it's
Yeah.
gonna be dependent on your actual machine.
Right.
Your dehydrator has a higher setting.
Perfect.
This is how we stored them in the jar. And my plan for this is to then just add boiling hot water to this, and I can eat it right out of the bowl.
Yeah.
Or the broth, when we show you how to make the broth, just add that hot broth to this and you can eat it right out of this jar. So that's kind of cool. All right, so we'll just finish up the rest of the noodles.
What follows is a brief construction montage.
So we are now set up, as you could see from the video on how we get stuff set up. We're going to build, and the build on this is pretty simple, but it has a lot of aromatics, a lot of classic flavors. And just as a reminder to everyone here, we're not claiming this to be authentic ramen. This is just how we made good tasting ramen, better than the package I showed you at the beginning. How it's fun, it's simple. If you're a fan of this, just a great way to amp up flavors. Here we go. The pan is hot. We have 1 teaspoon of sesame oil, 1 teaspoon of olive oil goes into the pot. To that we add the aromatics. We have 2 cloves of garlic that have been grated and about 2 teaspoons of ginger as well. And this immediately starts smelling amazing. Now you're going to be cooking this for 2 to 3 minutes. Let me get a better stir. But you're going to cook that for 2 to 3 minutes. You don't want to overcook the garlic. You don't want it to get charred or brown or caramelized like you do on some other recipes that maybe we've done with garlic. You're just warming it up, sauteing it, getting it to release those amazing smells as well. Now to that, you can add whatever vegetables you want to add. The vegetables can be carrots, onions, mushrooms, celery, peas. Doesn't matter. There's no rules here for how you want your ramen to taste. We have shredded carrots, half a cup, and half a cup of mushrooms that also goes in. Now this is going to cook on a medium heat for, I would say again, 3 to 4 minutes here to break it down a little bit. So as that cooks, behind us we have some water getting ready to boil for soft boiling an egg to top this off. And we're going to let that saute a bit. So this is cooking down here. The smells are amazing. And if you're wondering about the color of the carrots, we just pick them from our garden. We have lots of different colors of carrots. This is a purple one, and the flesh tends to be yellow instead of orange. Whatever comes out of our garden, we try to put to good use. So as we're ready then, we're going to add a tablespoon of rice vinegar and 3 tablespoons of soy sauce. And then finally, we are going to be adding 4 cups of chicken stock. Now you can make your own chicken stock. You can buy chicken stock. This is not a homemade version, but a bought version. And we're going to bring that up to a simmer. While that's simmering, I'm going to head back to the stove and get our soft-boiled eggs going as well. All right, so this has been simmering away for about 5 or 6 minutes now. It's got a good simmer on it. That is hold on. That's a good smell. Noodles go in. These are the fresh ones we use. My wife had shown you earlier, you could put in your pre-made dry ones. Whether you do fresh or dry, they're only going to take about a couple of minutes. So this part then goes quickly for us to finish it and to cut the heat. So in go the noodles. And when you do this, you're not going to believe how much better your homemade ramen is going to be. It's ridiculous. So that's going to be 2 minutes, 2-3 minutes, and then I'm going to grab a couple bowls for the plate up. All right. And the babe has been waiting for this, so we will get her dished up.
That's plenty.
That's plenty?
Yeah.
All right. And you'll notice too, you have a very rich look to the broth with the soy sauce. The sesame oil, amazing smells. You may never go back to that cheap store-bought stuff. It may got you through college, but this is going to get you through the winter. All right. Scallions. Chicken breast. You can leave the chicken out if you're going vegetarian style. We think animals should be eaten. Most of them. Not all of them. Some of them. Eat whatever animals you culture deems. Now this is going to be a soft-boiled egg. So we'll give it a little bit of the cut. How well did we do on our egg? Beautiful. Beautiful. Do you like sriracha?
Not too much.
I do a little sriracha to finish it off.
That's plenty.
Okay. I mean, that just looks...
Amazing.
Yeah. Off the chart. The smells are incredibly good. Very happy with how this turned out. Thank you to the Savage Mermaid for suggesting it. We have a new thing to make at our house. Here we go.
Cheers. Oh, it's hot.
Really hot.
Wow.
That is bold. Well, you really get the ginger.
Oh, I love it.
That,
Wow.
yeah, I don't even know how you do normal ramen after that. We might just not talk for a minute.
Yeah, I'm not talking. This is amazing.
Yeah, the egg is a masterpiece there.
Well done. Ooh, the kick of the sriracha. Wow, that was good.
I mean, seriously, a ridiculously satisfying ramen. So,
Oh, yes.
thanks for hanging out. We love doing this stuff. If you have suggestions, put them in the comments. We'll do our best at making it. Until next time, God bless. Done.
Yay.